Hi guys, Deanna here from Hot for History, and we are going to discuss some royal news, some royal gossip, and it's there's a lot going on. It's very messy within the British royal family circles. Tonight we're going to talk about Meghan's engagement ring. Like, where is it? Why hasn't she been wearing it for so long? Also, there are rumors about Prince Harry and King Charles meeting for a royal summit after he heads to his Invictus Games in Dusseldorf. What's that all about? Let's talk about that. And then, of course, we had a huge royal faux pas. At least many critics are saying it's a faux pas, like Piers Morgan and some other commentators are saying that Prince William or somebody from the royal family, or somebody from even British Parliament like Rishi Sunak should have attended the World Cup with the ladies soccer with the Lionesses against Spain. So what do you think? Let's talk about that. I am Deanna from Hot for History, and I'm really happy to be here with you guys tonight. And I'm just excited to be able to chat with you about certain things regarding royal gossip. Please do subscribe. Oftentimes we talk about history and kind of some quirky things, but this is a very interactive live. I like to get your comments up here, and we just shoot it back and forth. We just talk about it and we're exploring it. So, I mean, the royal news, the royal family, it is sort of like history in the making. So we are going to chat about it. And I'm looking forward to it. So let's talk. Let me see where you guys are from first, and then we'll talk about Meghan's engagement ring. Welcome from California. Is it weird no one showed up for the soccer game? Yes, I agree. I agree. And we're going to talk about that in a second. I saw George Benson Friday night here in Las Vegas. Love George Benson. I hope Harry can talk with his family. Yes. I don't know. We're going to see what happens because I don't think Meghan is going to show up. And then some are saying this summit will happen and it won't. So there's all of that. The big thing that we're going to talk about right now is this whole thing with Meghan and her ring. Do you guys think that she's just getting her ring fixed? Why isn't she wearing it? She loved the ring. She always bragged about the ring. She always talked about how beautiful it was. It has some of Diana's diamonds in it. It has a diamond from Botswana. That she just loved that 3-carat diamond ring. But now she's not wearing it. And some people are saying, well, it's just practical. She's just getting it fixed. It's not a problem. And yet with all of the divorce rumors just kind of looming all over the place, people are suspicious about it. Okay, to be honest, I feel like she is manipulating Harry. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel the same way, Simran, as you do, because, we're wondering, is she manipulating him? Is she also manipulating the press? We saw her recently out with sort of a stress patch on her arm. She just was out there with. And also, by the way, what's interesting to me? She always talked about how awful it was when she always talked about how awful it was when she was in the UK with the royal family, and she could never wear like bright colors because she didn't want to upstage anybody. But what does she wear? She still wears muted colors. And I'm not complaining about it. I think she looks great in black and white and tan and all those colors. She looks great in almost anything. But she made such a big deal on not being able to, wear bright colors, and she had to tone it down. And yet all we see is she having things toned down. So maybe she doesn't wear the ring because she's afraid of losing it, perhaps. Yeah. But a lot of royals have fakes or sort of like replacement rings. I would be afraid of losing a $310,000 engagement ring. Or are they financially trouble and it might be collateral for something? Ooh, or this is hysterical, but maybe she pawned it. Maybe she pawned it to pay the mortgage. Who knows? I don't think so. But anyhow, that's something to think about. So I'm just going to read a little bit about what they're saying. If you guys know anything, if you hear anything about what you think is going on with the ring, let me know. It says speculation is growing yet again about the state of Harry and Meghan's marriage after the Duchess was snapped without her massive engagement ring. Oh my gosh. I mean, people like take off their rings for many reasons, but of course, with all of the other stuff swirling around, like Harry having an apartment building or a hotel in Montecito, which is this like it's only like a half mile long to drive through. Like, why would you have an apartment when you have like 5 million bedrooms and bathrooms? And then they're also talking about how Meghan has an apartment in Los Angeles. He has an apartment in Los Angeles. I mean, it's several hours away. Maybe they want to move to Los Angeles. But with all the speculation, it is, something that people can think about. But anyhow, it says Meghan made a triumphant return to Instagram earlier this week in a candid snap with her hairdresser, Katie Lee, and celebrated writer Cleo Wade and Ms. Lee's Instagram. The hairdresser and confidant to the Duchess captured the picture. Belated birthday celebrations with these lovely muses, perhaps referencing Meghan's recent 42nd birthday on August 4th. Also my birthday. In a previously unnoticed detail in a cozy photo, the Duchess of Sussex is not wearing her dazzling engagement ring, but is still wearing her wedding band. So that's good news, right? In 2017, Harry snubbed traditional royal jewelers like Cartier and Gerard, and instead opted to create his own unique engagement ring for Meghan with the London boutique jeweler Cleve & Company. The ring is a yellow gold, because that's her favorite. And the main stone itself, I sourced from Botswana. This is him saying this. And the little diamonds either side are from my mother's jewelry collection to make sure that she's with us always on this crazy journey. And so Meghan has since modified the ring. Even though she loved the ring, she modified it, which quite frankly is not that unusual for some women to do. Just saying. That doesn't make her, she just modified it. Following the birth of her children, most prominently, Meghan has swapped out the original yellow gold band for a thinner diamond pave setting after the birth of Archie back in 2019. Okay, so according to the royal biographer and English aristocrat, Lady Colin Campbell, like she always likes to stir some trouble. Like, do you guys believe that Lady Colin Campbell is real? She has been really accurate on a lot of things, but sometimes I think she's stirring trouble. The true reason Meghan has slipped off the diamond ring is likely due to trouble in the marriage and disagreements over raising Archie and Lilibet in the media spotlight. She goes, I have been told very many reliable sources that the marriage is in trouble. You can't bring children up divorced from reality and divorced from the world because you have a paranoia on the press and anything going on. Okay, so what do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'm going to go back and look at all of the comments that I missed while I was rambling about the ring. Okay, maybe she doesn't want to wear it. I read that. I think they just keep stalling to make money because they are making up lies, such as during the Netflix show or the opera show, just to make money. So are you saying that maybe they really are in trouble? They're about to get divorced, but they keep stalling. That would make sense in a way, because where is Meghan going to go? Like where's Harry going to go? And so even if they're splitting up, yeah, maybe continue to sort of feed the beast, feed the beast with all this stuff. So I have a 2-carat canary diamonds, just looking for setting to put it in and a finger to put it on. Ooh, okay. And those pictures from Los Angeles, would you wear a $300,000 ring there with all the crime? Well, I guess if I had security and I had I probably would if that was the case. I wouldn't probably wear my 3-carat diamond ring on every day unless, but I don't know. I don't know. I probably would not. If I was Kate and I was in the middle, surrounded by massive security all the time, maybe I would. How on earth would Harry be reincorporated into the royal family at this point if they were to divorce? Catherine, yes, we're going to talk about that in a second. I think it's very complicated. I don't know how that would work because the people in the UK are just over it. They're just over it. And a lot of people in the United States are over it too. Okay, so we're going to go on and we're going to talk about some more things that are in the news. But the ring, I don't know. So guys, I got to blow this up. Okay, Harry has this website called Better Up. And this is his picture. Okay, let's talk about Harry's hair. Okay, it would not be something that I would bring up normally just because I'm mean or something like that. But Harry made such a big deal in his book Spare about William's hairline. I hardly recognize him. He doesn't look like my mother anymore. All of his gorgeousness is fading, right? And then fast forward a few years and Harry's under all of the stress, even though his book is talking about William's hairline. And then he goes out to the coronation, which, by the way, inside of the chat in Westminster Abbey, like it is the royal family that's sort of in charge of production and all of that. So they get a shot of Harry's friar tuck balding in the back. Like, it's just a dead on shot. And so fast forward to now, and Harry's photo looks like he's got dark hair, a full head of hair, and this is recent. So I think it's really, really funny. What do you guys think? Okay, if they split, I think Harry can go back to the UK. Meghan could hit the talk show circuit and drop some books. Yeah, they're probably both going to be fine separately. I always thought honestly that Harry could do great by himself, because I feel like he has that sort of charm in a way that's not, like he doesn't seem like the guy that's going to walk into the party and, like, I don't know. He's kind of like a more natural guy. If he would have stuck to doing, let's say a podcast about the Invictus Games and soldiers and military stuff, I think he would have done really well. So I think he probably will do well. Maybe Meghan will do another TV show if she splits up with him, saying that he wasn't good to her. Yeah, probably. That's probably true. That's probably what's going to happen. Harry's a public figure. Spending money on hair restoration and cosmetics is just a smart business expense. That is true. But I heard, again, I don't know for sure, none of us really knows for sure, but that the royal family was extremely opposed to that. But again, I don't know, because of plugs and whatever. But yeah, I mean, being in the media, of course, you're going to have like some kind of upgrade to your looks, do certain things. And they live in California. So there's that. But I don't think that's what's happening here. I think it's total Photoshop. It's totally Photoshop. Look at that. I mean, just look. It looks like I don't know. It's just awful Photoshop, by the way. So, okay, here's the big deal. Are they going to be talking? Is the king going to be talking? Well, Elon did it and it worked out for him. True. What's the best cover song ever? Do you know that I used to work in a band. I had a big band in New York City for a long time. It's called, my maiden name's Jones, the Deanna Jones Orchestra. So that was my area of specialty. I was a contributor to Modern Bride and Brides magazine, and I played at my band was Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones's wedding, Geraldo's, Donald Trump's, like all of these. I'm not talking about politics, but I'm just saying at his wedding. So I do know a lot about that, but I don't think I have a favorite. I like standards. I like old classic standards, and maybe I'll get back to you on that one. Okay, so let's talk about this. Harry and his dad are supposedly going to have some kind of summit. And before we started, I don't know where Stephen is, but Stephen was really into talking about this. Like, why are they having a summit? Are they going to talk about the potential divorce? Are they going to talk about his visa issues and maybe allowing him to stay in the States? Is there talk about, the terms to a divorce? Is there whatever? But so we don't really know. But what's happening is at the Invictus Games in September in Dusseldorf, the king apparently has cleared his schedule so that he can get Harry into a meeting with him right after. So he's like, okay, Harry, I have a couple of days. You come here and we'll talk. But it's also very clear that the king is like, oh yeah, by the way, we're not going to be saying anything personal, and we're going to have somebody to record every single moment of what you're saying and what I'm saying, because, we're not going to be playing these games. So everybody's like all abuzz, like, okay, they are going to be talking finally. But on the other hand, they're like, oh no, they're not. Oh no, they're not going to be talking. So it's not clear what exactly is going on, except for some people are speculating, oh my gosh, this must be about him maybe getting back in the royal family. Okay, so let's read some of it. Maybe he wanted to take her away from the public royal family since what happened to Diana in the public eye and in the fear that is trying to make the royal family look bad. I think that is probably what he thought, because he has intense sensitivity to that kind of stuff. Fast forward to the near catastrophic car chase that they say they had in New York City, the massive comparisons with Meghan to his mother. And so I do think that that's what his concerns were. And yet it's sort of backfired, because now she's not even out in public with her ring, because she's probably not as protected as she would have been had she stayed and they have been working with the royal family. So there's an irony there, but you never know. Yes, Janet, I am. But thanks. That's smart. The king doesn't want to be the first chapter in an all. Yeah, well, Harry says that he has 20 more, 400 more pages or something like that. I don't know. He says he has all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So Deborah brings this up regarding Invictus. They say that at the end of Invictus, Harry and Meghan are going to be, in the closing ceremonies, right? And so, of course, she's going to be there, because even if they were let's say, potentially splitting up, that's a hot moment for them. And it's probably going to be videotaped and on TV and all of the whole nine. Plus, it's how they met. But all the criticism is why do the Invictus Games have to be all about Harry and Meghan all the time? Can't we just have it be these amazing stories? But remember, they're recording this, they're releasing it. It's a big deal. Honestly, they should have led with the Invictus Games, in my opinion. They should have started out talking about all of these great stories and just hosted it, narrated it, made it less personal about them, and show these incredible stories. So I think his Invictus documentary is going to be a huge hit. I think that people are going to like it. And then hopefully Netflix can make some money back. But will it be enough to sort of save their career and the perception? I don't think so. Not right now. But you know what? They hang around long enough and keep, pushing at it, possibly. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. Or you can say it was by Dolly Parton, who wrote the song. Is it being recorded? If it is being recorded, some things might be scripted. Yes, and the truth will be twisted. Very true. Okay, Meghan has nowhere near the same level of interest as Diana. Exactly. I'm not saying she doesn't have issues, but if they split, no one will even remember who Meghan is. I tend to agree. I think Meghan probably definitely got a boost out of this marriage, and I think that she would probably do better now, since she was married to him, than she would had she just continued on. But her ex, for example, married this billionaire. This guy Trevor married this amazing woman, and it's ironic that she while she was gone. She had broken up with him and she was dating somebody else when she saw Harry. But there's a lot of irony there. I do think that she'll probably do pretty well on her own. I think Harry's going to have a harder time sort of getting back in the fold, but I also think he'll have an easier time getting back in the fold without Meghan being there. So that's what I think. I think if they were together, it's still, I think that people are, honestly, I think people that think they are saints and angels, but really it is all for the money. Yeah, that seems pretty clear that, they're trying to basically just, squeeze everything out of it that they can. One of these articles is about the potential. In November, it is King Charles's birthday. So these articles are saying that Harry may come there. I think it was Angela Levin said that Harry may come there with Archie, and that he would leave Lilibet and Meghan home, but he's probably going to come. But then some are like, no, but even if he does show up, he's going to wait to the very last minute, and it's going to be a hot mess. So anyhow, we don't know. You guys, this is hysterical that we're going off on a tangent. I could do an entire live about this. Okay. By the way, Alison Krauss, When You Say Nothing at All, is another good one. A little bit more obscure, but it's a good one. Okay. So let's go on to here. Okay. So it's debatable whether they really are going to talk or not. It doesn't sound like, I mean, I think it's time. Can you imagine like not all of this stuff going on and not even having like a one-on-one with your dad? I mean, it's really a hot mess. It's a hot mess. Harry, yes, Deborah has done a lot of, wait, was that you? Wait, I was trying to put this one. Okay. Harry has done a lot of damage to his reputation. Yes. He was so liked. I say this all the time that he was always, I always say this. He was like our favorite. Harry was our favorite. Well, he was my favorite. I thought he was so like natural, and I loved kind of the fact that he was, you know, he would color outside of the lines. Like he was different, and yet he was natural. And I think everybody sort of liked him until we got to know him better. And throughout all of this, he's showing his entitlement. Like he's showing it, and it's not been good, you know? Okay. I hope that Harry does go see the king for a birthday celebration. I do too. I do too. I would really like to see that. I think that people are just looking for an opportunity to set either one up to get busted by TMZ. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure TMZ is staying and hanging out at the hotel right across from WME, which is Meghan's like, agent, and she has a hotel room there. I am sure the person who gets that scoop, yeah. Okay, Invictus is to celebrate people, but others just care about the drama, which is not fair. That's so true. It's such like when you've watched those stories of these guys who've been wounded, and then they get in there and they like find something to be a champion with, and then they interview their kids and they interview their wives and they interview their spouses. Like it is powerful. And those are the real stories. They may not be famous, but like that impacts us more than, okay, is Meghan really wearing her wedding ring? It's so trivial compared to what is really at stake and the deeper part of it. But that's the world we live in, right? People are talking about Harry's hair plugs rather than the fact that a man, was blown up like in Afghanistan and survived and is now playing basketball, or racing. Like it's really a wild world we live in, but I'm glad you brought it up. Harry hasn't done anything that people would not forgive him for in the long run. Yeah, I kind of think that he could have a chance if when he went back, he kind of laid low. I also think he could really do well if, let's say, he found another woman in the future who was more kind of in kind with the royal family, and he took that path. I think that there is redemption and that there is a chance for him to kind of come back. I do. I really think okay, I think Harry really hurt Kate, and she loved him, and it was sad that the brother, they were together all the time. And I'm sure that like the wounds regarding he and William are intense, but imagine he and Kate as well. Okay. I really just hope that Harry and William talk to each other again. I do too. I love that we're talking about this, because oftentimes people come on here and they're like, you guys hate them. It's so awful. It's so awful. It's not that. It's because we've been fans of theirs in the past. And honestly, we kind of we were hopeful, really hopeful that something great would happen, and that, we could all live happily ever after. We all want the fairy tale. Right? We want the fairy tale, but we don't know if we're really going to get it. Okay. And then on the topic of popular royals, have you seen the picture of Prince William of Gloucester? That guy would be a superstar if he was alive today. Okay. I did a video about him. So the other Prince William, who died in a plane crash, I thought he was like the Queen's like first cousin or something like that, but he was so handsome, and tragic ending of his life. And you are absolutely true. There's so many stories and so many sort of like branches of these amazing people that were connected to the royal family. And maybe he could do a public apology. I mean, I think, but I don't think it's it would be great, but I don't think it's really going to happen. I really hope great things for Meghan and Harry. I really hoped. Yeah, and I think we all did. I was so excited about Prince Harry marrying Meghan Markle. Like I was all about it. I was really into it. So, but what we're seeing is like it's sort of like watching just somebody take something that's really beautiful and like destroy it, because that's sort of what we saw. And they were on a really great path. They were doing really, really well. Okay. All right. So let me go on to this. Okay. So recently, I think this past weekend, oh my goodness, this is like major drama, hot mess in the UK. Okay. England in the World Cup, the Women's World Cup in Australia. The Lionesses beat Australia, which means that was in the semifinals, which means they get to play Spain in the finals. Okay, now the Queen of Spain is like, hey, Kate, let's go over there. And William, come, but they didn't go. And so there's all of this drama over like, oh gosh, I can't believe they didn't go. Rishi Sunak didn't go. Like nobody went in the UK. And then they ended up losing. Now, Charlotte and William did say, hey, we're so sorry we can't be there, but we really wish you well. And then they lost. And then Piers Morgan and all of these people are like, why wasn't there one royal there? Why wasn't there? And they're kind of right. Now, the reason why there wasn't a royal there is because they have this protocol regarding, regarding the royal family. And, William was not going to go because of safety reasons or whatever. They don't go to these types of events, but they should have sent somebody. Like, I think it would have been overlooked, the fact that they didn't go, had they sent somebody. And William has been present for some of the other events that had the Lioness teams. Like he's handed out awards before. He's been involved, but this trip to Australia would have been too much. He does have 3 children. He does have a lot going on. So they just said no, but it's dramatic. Like they're really, people are ticked off. They are ticked off. Okay. So, okay, wait, let me see. Yes, do not show the compromising pictures. I was so excited for the royal wedding, but I guess everything has crashed. Yeah, since over the 5 years. Absolutely. So it was exciting. And here's the thing. We don't know. It's like every day with this family, there's like some drama. What is the deal with the ring? What is the deal with the, with the fact that Charles and Harry may be meeting? What's the deal with, Archie possibly coming to the birthday party, but not Lilibet and not Meghan? What is the deal with, the perception of the royal family not being there for the World Cup? It is a big deal, but it's kind of in the big scheme of things, not as dramatic as some of these other things. But we need to just kind of watch, because the anniversary of the Queen's death is soon. Will William come? Will Harry be involved and come for that? Most likely no. Will we see them at the birthday party? I don't think we will ever see Meghan in the UK again with her kids. I just don't think it's going to happen. Not with Harry. I'm sure one day, like maybe if they're split up or something, they'll go, or if some big turn of events happens. But it's so sad. It's really, really sad. Okay, so who's going to be the next to get married in my family? I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one. I have one married daughter, and then I have all of these kids that are doing amazing things. Please go see. My son is on YouTube as well. He just started a brand new channel. He does travel stuff. His name is Andrew, but he calls it Drew Does. So it's I'm Drew Does. And he just got back from Japan, staying in all these little pods, and he put up a video. He does great work. So go see him. I have high performing, amazing kids. Also nobody, okay, good. Let me see this. I'm a Brit, and it's going to take a lot of work for anyone to take Harry seriously ever again. What he did to the Queen in her last day, are unforgivable. I am so in agreement to you. There was nothing that bothered me more, because I'm a really good daughter and granddaughter, especially to older people. That's my thing. That's my thing. I hang out with my Aunt Pauline, who's 90, and her boyfriend Willard, who's having his 99th birthday like this month. They just started dating last year. I'm into it. I always am hanging out with them every single weekend when I'm in the Midwest. I cannot believe, like, if you have a grandmother like this, number one, she's world famous and she's exceptional, right? But it doesn't even matter. She invites you to her birthday, her Christmas, her whatever, and you don't show up. She wants to have pictures of her great grandchildren during the holidays at Balmoral or whatever. And you don't bring your kids. Like, this to me would have been a reason not to ever move to the United States until after the Queen dies. The lack of wisdom on their part and the slap in the face of somebody who will be an iconic historic figure forever is just heartless. It's just heartless. You make believe that a woman like that doesn't have feelings, but she loved Harry and she wanted, I mean, I'm sure she would have loved to have spent more time with Lilibet and Archie, the little time that they had. So I could go on and on about it with you, and I am in full 1,000,000% agreement. It makes me so upset. It makes me so upset. And oh yeah, I didn't even bring up the drama with Prince Andrew. You know, the reason we don't bring it up is because we want to keep our YouTube channels. That's why. I'm just saying. I have a lot I could say about that too. Yeah, Harry dressed, I know, anything's possible, but I still feel like his dressing up like, you know who, I'll say Voldemort. You know, it's more forgivable than what he's done. I mean, it's awful, especially as a military guy. And what he said in his book about people being chess pieces that he was just ticking off. So sad. Always talk to your elders. Yes, I wish I had the chance to talk to mine before they were gone. Exactly. But I was overseas for so many years. This is way before FaceTime. Yes. Show some love and respect. That is the part that Just Mel, I think that's her name, or Just Me. He, him, I don't know who that is, but I'm shouting you out. 1,000%. You were right. Like, that is the saddest thing ever. Do not disrespect those people. Do not. Just do not. It's so sad. Okay, we're going to call it a day. His book was just him ranting to get more attention for money. I do think so. And I also think, it was more than that. I think he was finally processing things years after the fact. I think Meghan kind of egged him on to be able to do that. I don't think he should have had a really wise therapist that said, sure, write it all down, write it in, a journal, but this does not mean that the entire world needs to read about that. Like, it doesn't mean that. So they clearly, the reason why they sold that out was because he didn't know any other way to survive without the royal family. So what does he do? He takes the assets that he has, which I'm a royal and I have some dish on them, and these people want the dish and they're willing to pay me multiple millions of dollars. So let me just talk about it. So anyhow, do you yes, I like Renaissance fairs, but I'm not really one to I wouldn't mind dressing up for a Renaissance fair, but I'm not one that chases after those. But my cousin did get married at a Renaissance fair and it was a blast. Okay. So let's just read this last thing. My friend had grandparents who died 2 weeks in between August, and she is devastated. You guys need to spend time with your grandparents, especially the Queen. Thank you for that reminder. If you guys have any of your elders or, people that you haven't reached out to, now is a really great time. It's always a good time. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Please do subscribe to Hot for History. Share this with your friends, and we will come back on and we will talk a little bit more about the royal family, and then also look at my history videos. I have a lot of shorts. I will be coming back to you with some full-size videos in the very near future about history, and we will talk soon. All the best. Good night.